Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hazika binti Zakaria. Number meeting is 2996874. Today I will start with introduction. With the growth of medical technology and rapid social change, the understanding their ability as well as the legal and moral implication involved. So there is modern medicine that offer new opportunities to couples who suffer from infertility or problems in the reproductive process. The two main methods that have attracted attention and debate around the world are in vitro fertilization, IVF, and surrogacy. Based on the topic, it is related with the reproductive. Reproductive means related to the production process. It refers to the biological mechanism by which organisms produce offspring. The process of reproduction involves the union of male and female gametes, sperm and eggs, to form a new organism. Islam emphasizes the preservation of offspring and the increase of offspring. This is arranged the lineage and family relationship of each child born. This is because the aspect of progeny is closely related to marriage. The legitimacy of children, the concept of guardianship, the inheritance, the limitation of modesty, zakat fitrah, the application of maintenance, family relationship, and others that have written provision in the Shariah and are feared to there will be at some point in the future a disordered family system when children, mother, fathers, grandfathers, and so on will be erased and disappear. I will continue with in vitro fertilization, IVF. IVF or test tube baby is a reproductive assistant technology to help couples with fertility problems. This process involves the fertilization of an ovum or seed by sperm outside the human body after other assisted reproductive techniques have failed. IVF has been around since 1909. In 1977, a stepdaughter patient named Leslie Brown, who suffered from fallopian tube failure, underwent surgery to retrieve the ovum or oocyte. Then in December 1977, Leslie was confirmed pregnant through the transfer of an ovum that had been fertilized through the in vitro method. The first test tube baby made history when born on July 25, 1978 and was named Joy Brown. And then surrogacy. Surrogacy, otherwise known as uterine reign, is a process in which a woman, surrogate mother, conceives and gives birth to a baby for a partner or other individual who cannot conceive on her own. This method is a follow-up to the discovery of the method of seed grafting outside the womb or seed grafting that does not go through natural method. It involves a third-party fetus being raised in another woman's womb and subsequently born through that woman's womb. This surrogacy involves various medical methods such as fertilization through cloning methods, gamete interfallopian transfer, zygote-interfallopian transfers, intracytoplasmic sperm injection, and in vitro fertilization. There are 5 situations involving surrogacy. First, the wife's seed ovum is fertilized with the husband's seed sperm, then insert into the womb of another woman. This method is used when the wife has the seed coat, but the uterus is removed due to surrogacy, severe deformity due to chronic disease or other reasons. Second, same the first form except for the seed that have been fertilized, frozen, and inserted into the mother's womb, surrogacy after the death of the married couple. The wife ovum fertilized with another man's sperm, the husband, and insert into another woman's womb. This situation is when the husband is born and the wife has an obstacle or disability in his womb, but his wife's seed is in good condition. Fourth, The husband's sperm is fertilized with another woman's ovum, then insert into the other woman's uterus. This situation happens when the wife is afflicted with a disease on her ovaries and uterus, unable to bear the task of pregnancy, or the wife has reached stage of menopause. 5. The husband sperm and wife's ovum are fertilized, then insert into the uterus of another wife from the same husband. In this situation, the other wife is willing to conceive. The husband shies from the wife who cannot conceive.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Local fatwas about IVF. Firstly is from Muzakarah Fatwa Majlis Kebangsaan bagi Hal Ehwal Agama Islam Malaysia in November 1982 and October 10, 1983. These decisions have stated that test tube babies from the seeds of a husband and wife who are respectfully joined are valid in Islam. On the other hand, the seed taken from a non-lawful spouse causes the test tube baby to be invalid. In addition, the baby born through a test tube can also be a guardian and entitled to receive inheritance from the rightful family. Secondly is from Muzakarah Fatwa Majlis Kebangsaan bagi Hal Ehwal Agama Islam Malaysia on 8 April 2003 has decided that the law includes embryo into the wife's womb after the death of the husband or divorce is illegal. In addition, fatwas decide the law incorporating the seeds released before the marriage ceremony and then the union is done during the valid marriage period is also illegal. Next is the local fatwas about surrogate mother. Firstly is from Muzakarah Fatwa Majlis Kebangsaan bagi Hal Ehwal Agama Islam Malaysia on 3 February 2008. This is a fatwa regarding the banning of surrogate motherhood service or the banning of third-party service to place a baby in her womb after embryos from couples with fertility problems are fertilized. It was decided that the use of the surrogate mother method can cause the mixing of lineage, which can cause doubts and even confusion. Secondly is from Jawatan Kuasa Fatwa Negeri Pahang in June 2008. Using the surrogacy method is illegal even if the sperm and ovum or other than embryoes are taken from a legitimate married couple because of confusion from the point of view of the child's lineage. Donation of sperm, ovum, embryo, uterus by a third party or the use of other methods is illegal according to Shariah.
Next, international fatwas from prominent Islamic scholars. For IVF, mostly Egyptian National Fatwa Council, which is Darul Ifta al-Misriyah. The fatwa from Egypt state that IVF is allowed on the condition that the sperm and ovum must come from a legally married couple. It is not allowed to use a sperm or ovum from third parties, including donors or sperm bank. Second, Majma' Al-Fiqh Al-Islami, which is Islamic Fiqh Academy, Jeddah. Majma' Al-Fiqh Al-Islami, which is an international fatwa body composed of scholars from all over the Islamic world, has issued a decision that IVF is permitted provided that the sperm and ovum come from a legitimate husband and wife. They rejected the use of sperm or ovum from third parties and also the use of surrogates. Third is Saudi Arabia Fatwa Council. Third is Saudi Arabia Fatwa Council. The Fatwa Council of Saudi Arabia allow IVF on the condition that the sperm and ovum come from a legally married couple and do not involve a third party. They also emphasize that this process must be carried out by keeping the limitation of Shariah. 1. Majlis Ulama Indonesia. Majlis Ulama Indonesia allow IVF on the condition that the sperm and ovum come from a legally married couple. The use of sperm or ovum donors as well as surrogacy is prohibited. Majlis Ulama Indonesia also emphasized the importance of maintaining the dignity and integrity of the family in this process. Lastly is the opinion from Sheikh Yusuf Al-Qaradawi. This famous scholar support the use of IVF provided it complies with the principle of Shariah, including the use of sperm and ovum from a legitimate married couple. He also rejects the use of sperm or ovum donors and surrogacy. Okay, next, for surrogacy, Sheikh Yusuf Al-Qaradawi emphasized that the use of surrogacy is forbidden in Islam. He thinks that this method involves the intervention of a third party in the relationship between husband and wife, which is violate the principle of Shariah and causes confusion about nasab. Second, Darul Ifta al-Misriyah, Egypt. Darul Ifta al-Misriyah also issued a fatwa prohibiting the use of surrogacy. They argue that this practice involves the mixing of lineage and raised various complicated ethical and Sharia issues. Third is Majlis Ulama Indonesia. Majlis Ulama Indonesia also banned surrogacy. They emphasize that surrogacy involves the intervention of a third party in the reproductive process, which is contradict the principle of marriage and descent in Islam. Majlis Ulama Indonesia also state that IVF from a married couple from the wife womb others, for example, from the second wife are entrusted to the wife first. The law is illegal based on the third Azariah rule because this will cause complicated problems in its connection with inheritance problem, specifically between children who was born to a mother who had an ovum and who pregnant then giving birth, and vice versa. Next, Majlis Ulama Indonesia also state that IVF from frozen sperm from the husband date is unlawful based on the rule of Saud Azariah because this will cause a strange problem both in relation to the determination of lineage and relate to inheritance. Next, Lajnah Daimah Lilbul Al-Ilmiyah wal Ifta Saudi Arabia. The Permanent Committee for Scientific Research and Fatwa in Saudi Arabia also think that the use of surrogacy is illegal. They assert that it causes mixing of lineage and violate the honor and integrity of the family institution in Islam.
Permissibility of IVF. Test tube babies produced from the wife's ovum and husband's sperm are legally mubah permissible because this is included in the ikhtiar in the religious rules. The ruling is haram when the fertilized ovum and sperm are inserted into the womb of another woman other than his own wife. Test tube babies produced from ovum and sperm that are not conjugal are unlawful due to their status being equal to adultery. There is a possibility of problems arising in terms of lineage or inheritance. Islam also strongly encourages its people to seek health treatment through various modern traditional, natural methods and so on in order to cure the disease they are suffering from, in addition to taking care of the ethical, moral and compatibility aspects of any treatment with Islam law.
Next, my name is Zuleika Natasha and my metric number 301423. So I will continue about the conditions set by Islamic fatwas on IVF. As we know, IVF technology is allowed in Islam to help married couples who do not have children and to multiply their lineage. The Prophet ﷺ said, marry a loving, fertile woman because I feel proud to have many people. Narrated by Abu Dawud. In the context of IVF technology, Islamic fatwas establish conditions that are consistent with the concept of Muslim Shariah. These conditions and limitations are to protect residents in accordance with the aspects of Maqasid Shariah and to ensure compliance with Islamic law and prevent Muslims from abusing this technology. Firstly, IVF is only allowed to a legal marriage relationship according to Islamic law. All the genetic material used for the IVF process, which is sperm and ovum, must be provided by a married couple. This is because it can ensure that the child born is from a legitimate lineage and to avoid cases of adultery as well as avoid mixed lineage. According to Muzakarah, the Fatwa Committee of the National Council for Islamic Religious Affairs of Malaysia, if IVF treatment use seeds obtained from an illegitimate couple, then the baby is illegitimate too. The second condition is the use of own genetic material. The sperm must be from the husband and the egg from the wife and implanted into the wife's womb in this fertilization because Allah SWT says in the Quran from Surah An-Nahl, and Allah made for you azwaj, wives, from your own kind and has been made for you from your wives, your children and grandchildren, and have granted you a good sustenance. Then do they believe in false gods and deny the favor of God by not worshipping God alone? In addition, Islam prohibits married couples from using sperm and ovum from other people because they can harm the child. So, this procedure must be carried out by a competent team to reduce the possibility of failure or mixing of zygotes and pre-embryos of different partners when stored in liquid nitrogen. And Islam also prohibits the use of surrogacy, which is using other women to conceive their children. The third condition is embryo transfer during marriage. The embryo transfer process must be done while the husband and wife are still in a legal marriage. Sheikh Prof. Dr. Ali Al-Qurahdari, in his book Fiqh Al-Qadaya Al-Fiqhiyya Al-Mu'asirah, said the IVF method that used the husband's semen stored in the sperm bank and then used by the wife after her husband's death for the purpose of pregnancy is haram. Fertilization of this type is strictly haram whether done outside the womb in vitro or inside the womb in vivo. This is because when the husband dies, the marriage relationship between husband and wife will be automatically end. Next, I will continue about the ethical considerations and concerns raised by Islamic scholars. The use of IVF technology in the context of Islam raises various ethical issues that need to be properly considered. Some Islamic scholars are involved in the discussion to determine the relevant truth about this process of IVF technology. They have also studied several important aspects to ensure that this technology is in line with Islamic ethics and does not cause any related problems. The views of scholars play an important role in guiding the Muslim community in this reproductive technology issue. Firstly, the view of a Sunni scholar, Sheikh Al-Azhar Dr. Yusuf Al-Qardawi, supports IVF technology under certain conditions. He emphasized that IVF must be done according to Islamic Shariah, that is, by using the valid husband's sperm and the valid wife's egg. He emphasized the importance of protecting offspring and prohibiting the use of third parties in the IVF process. The use of a third party will disrupt the lineage of the relationship between the child and both parents. Dr. Al-Qardawi also emphasized the importance of adhering to Islamic ethics and morals in the IVF process. This process must be done in a way that respects all parties involved, including the child to be born. Besides, the Supreme Leader of Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei, who is a leading scholar in the Shia section, also supports IVF because it is allowed in Islam. He wants to take advantage of modern technology while being guided by Islamic ethical principles. He supports IVF because it is one of the ways to deal with the problem of infertility among married couples, and he insists on following the Islamic ethical conditions that have been set. Ayatollah Khamenei admitted that the problem of infertility is a serious problem for some couples. IVF is considered a legitimate method in Islam to deal with the problem and be able to extend their lineage. After that, Mufti Usmani, a leading Muslim scholar from the Deobandi school in Pakistan, also allowed IVF with certain conditions. He is a scholar of jurisprudence and expert in Islamic law. He supports the use of husband's sperm and wife's egg in this method. Mufti Usmani emphasized that medical intervention through IVF is allowed as long as it is at the level permitted by Islamic Shariah. He acknowledged that medical technology can play an important role in helping married couples who suffer from infertility problems and that technology must be used according to Islamic values. So, IVF is a modern reproductive technology that can help married couples facing infertility problems. Three prominent scholars from different sections and backgrounds, namely Dr. Yusuf Al-Qardawi, Ayatollah Khamenei, and Mufti Taqi Usmani, have given different guidance, but they still adhere to Islamic principles in accepting this technology. They support IVF in certain situations that ensure adherence to ethical values and Islamic law.
Overview of the Islamic perspective on IVF and surrogacy. For the IVF, most Islamic scholars allow the use of a partner, sperm and eggs for IVF, provided that this process does not involve elements that are contrary to the principle of Shariah, such as the use of sperm and eggs from an outside party who is not the husband of wife. Some scholars allow it to increase the effectiveness of the procedure, while others consider it is impermissible because of the potential to stop the life of the embryo that has formed. In Islam, there are several conditions that need to be met to carry out the in vitro fertilization IVF procedure in accordance with religious principles. First, sah nikah. IVF is only allowed for married couples who are legally married. Second, use of original materials. Egg cell and sperm used must come from the husband and wife involved. Third, respect for embryos. Embryo products from IVF should be respected and should not be discarded arbitrarily unless there is a clear Shariah reason. For clear purpose, the IVF process should be done with the purpose of forming a family and obtaining offspring, not for purposes that are contrary to religious values. 5. Mutual consent. The entire IVF process must be done with the absolute consent of the husband and wife, as well as considering activities related to the procedure and expected result. 6. Proper medical use. The IVF process must also pay attention to medical use that does not violate the principle of health of all medical ethics in Islam. And then surrogacy. Scholars agree on the prohibition of surrogacy. This is because Islam values all scientific and technological effort in obtaining offspring for couples who are unable to obtain them through normal means. However, the surrogacy method has an effect on lineage, pollution of security, dignity of the married couple, and pollution of the value and dignity of a mother. The ulama agree on the prohibition of planting a womb in the following circumstances. First, use the womb of another woman other than the wife. Second, seed mixing between a husband and another woman. Third, mixing the wife seed with another man. Fourth, insert the fertilized seeds after death of both.
For conclusion, the majority of local and international fatwas emphasize the importance of maintaining legitimate lineage and lineage. Therefore, the use of IVF is permitted provided that it involves a legally married couple. The use of sperm or ovum from a third party in the IVF process is generally not allowed because it violates the principle of purity of the sex. While the concept of surrogacy is often rejected because it can lead to confusion in parentage and parenting responsibility. Assisted reproductive technology such as IVF and surrogacy offer hope to childless couples. Decisions made by religious mufti play an important role in determining the limit and ethic of their use. It is important for individuals considering the use of this technology to consult with religious authorities to ensure that decisions made are in line with religious teaching and principles. Thank you.